What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a old Prius 2001. I think it's the first generation, and we got to put a clock spring in this. So one thing we got to do is we have to pull the steering wheel off. We got to pull the airbag out. We need to disconnect the battery, and it says in service data to disconnect the HV plug as well on this. I'm trying to get y'all where y'all can see this a little bit better, but it says you need to disconnect the HV plug on this too, and you're going to have to do both of those in the trunk because the battery lives in the trunk, and I think the HV plug is behind the cover on the battery on this one, just like the newer ones, but it doesn't have a little access panel. You have to pull the whole back panel off, I think, on this one. And then there's some Torx bits that you got to take off, take the steering wheel off, and or take the airbag out. And then you got to take the covers, this one and the lower one down. And we'll go through it all in the video, but I'm going to show y'all where the battery and stuff lives. So normally you'll have a little plug right here, a little body clip right there. And look, sorry, and that's where your tail light. Here's your battery. We're just going to disconnect the negative. It's right here, and then I think the cover for that is right here. Get some little body clips up here. I think you got to pull that one, and I think there's one back there. Trying to see, make sure. I have not worked on one of these older ones like this. It may be about in the middle. It feels like there's something right there. So let me pop these clips out real quick and pull this, and then disconnect the battery, and then we'll be right back, and I'll show you what it looks like under that. Get the cover pulled up, and there's just like this piece goes over that. You can lift it up, set that to the side, and here's all our little clips down here. Hold on, I'm gonna show them to you in just a second. That's all of them I took out, 2, 4, 5 of them. And then this one right here was already laying in the floor. I think it goes to the cover over the battery. But I took the negative off and just kind of isolated that a little bit. And you can wear those big cartoon rubber gloves if you want to. You should be fine to pull it, but if you are worried, just that's how you pull it out. Pull it down, pull it back, and you can do it if you're worried. You shouldn't be close to anything back here that's going to hurt you, so you should be safe to pull it out. I do have the big gloves. I do that anytime I'm messing with the battery's internals or anything like that, but you don't have to. But I do recommend just putting some type of rubber glove on to do this. And that's your little plug right there. Like I say, just stick it in, or pull it down, pull it out. Pretty basic. And we got the negative off. Now we're gonna let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, just to let the capacitors dissipate, and then we'll get to tearing everything else back apart. We're in the car now, and I think it is a T27, I believe. There's normally a little plug. This one doesn't have it, but there's a Torx bit right there. See if I can get it there. Oh, there we go. I think that's it. It's a little aggravating. There it is. It's come straight in. There's a T27 Torx bit right there, and I believe this cover right here should come off. Come on. There it is. Pull that, and then there's a better look at that Torx bit right there. Pull both of those off, and then you can pull your airbag out and disconnect the connector. These should not be all that tight. I might see if I can set y'all up. That way if airbag explodes, we can catch it on camera. You can catch it on camera, me doing something stupid. Come on, get in there. A little tighter than I expected, but still not too bad. Most time they stay encapsulated in the steering wheel. She had to go get something from dealership.
I'll just see if I can borrow for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, she's not here right now. I don't know when she'll be back.
Alright, well, she'll go and see. He's in the middle of something too. We're all in the middle of something.
Oh yeah, always. Then pull it back, and you can disconnect it either right here or right there. I'm gonna try to disconnect it right there. Makes it easier. And that's your airbag. We're gonna sit it down where nothing can get to it. This is the connector right there, and if I can get it to cooperate, disconnect it, you just pull that little white tab back and it should pop right out. And now we can pull the actual steering wheel off, and the way we can do this is that nut, and then you got a connector right there. Make sure I'm showing now. You got that connector right there. You pull it out because it feeds all your like cruise control and the horn and stuff like that. So we'll see how this comes out. I think it's a little tab underneath. I may have to use my pick. Come on. Can't see up in there. There it goes. So there's that little tab right there. You're gonna have to use a pick or something to push on it to pull it off. And now all we have to do is take this nut off, and then I'm gonna disconnect the horn piece first. There are some threaded holes. Make sure I'm showing y'all. Okay. Some threaded holes right there and right there. But that is for your puller to press against right there. And sometimes you can wiggle them back and forth and the steering wheel will pop off. But if it's too tight, you'll have to use some kind of puller to press up against it to yank it off. Let me see what size this is. I'm guessing between a 19 and a 21. This won't be one of those. So let me grab a socket, see which size it is, and we'll go from there. It is a 19, and they're normally not super tight, but I did drop it, so we'll see if I can kind of pull on it a little bit and get this out of here. And we'll set y'all up. Just wanted to show that a little bit closer. She's in there pretty good. I'm gonna have to use a puller. Here is my setup. This is a steering wheel puller. Got like a shaft that goes through, threaded in the middle. Got 2 bolts on the end. I will tell you, I do not know what size they are, like the threads or anything. I can tell you though, it will be metric because this is a Toyota. But just 2 of them on the sides, and then should just be able to. And there it goes. Just like that. I'll put a link to steering wheel puller. Most of the time they come with bolts. Lost my bolts. I don't know where they're at. They're probably in my harmonic balancer puller kit. We're gonna set this to the side. That's it right there. Now, get a Phillips head. I'm gonna take these covers off. Should be 2 of them. Set them in the cup holder. I think there should be one underneath there as well, if I remember correctly. You have to take this off just because the cover sits. Yeah, there's one on the bottom too. Right there. But you have to take these off because the box spring sits, I had it, sits behind that, so make sure you get that off. Let's set y'all up. Sorry to do this one-handed. The bottom's a little tight. There's that. And I think this should about clear. Bring it down some. There it goes. You can just push that up. You don't really need to take it off. And now at this point, I believe there should just be these 4 Phillips heads on the front of it, and it should pull right off. Try not to move this too much, but you want it to go back in the same spot that it was. I mean, it can move a little bit, but don't do like a full 90 or anything, just because you need to know where everything was. Also, I should have marked where the steering wheel was in location to the snout or the shaft that it bolts to, but we should be fine on that. I know it was a little off center, so I ain't really worried about it too much. And if I have to, I can always readjust it later. That's just a little tip. Before you do this, make sure you mark where your steering wheel is in relation to the actual shaft. Sorry, I'm doing too many things at once. Alright. Now there are 2 connectors on the bottom. One, I think you gotta flip that back. Let me get y'all closer. I'm gonna show y'all. So, it was like that. Squeeze, lift, and then push and pull. It's just like regular piece once you get that little piece up, and this is just like a regular connector. And there you go. So, it was a little off center, like I said. It was about right there on mine. So, here's the old one. We have the new one down here. Toyota original. I call it a cable subassembly. 84306-12070. I know I keep moving y'all all around, but I'm just trying to get y'all the best vantage points that I can. Now it comes with this little safety piece on there. You take that off after you install it. But we're going to connect our connectors first. In and in. Clip. You know, flip, rotate. And it goes got it lined up right. You don't see too many of them anymore that uses screws to hold them in. Most of the time they're just like a little clip-in deal. Come on, get stuck. There we go. Don't tighten it all the way down at first because it's going to want to kick to one side. And I go crisscross when I'm tightening it down anyway. Now we can tighten this one and this one. And then we can go ahead and put the other two in. Try to wear gloves as much as possible. Sometimes they just get in the way. Freaking gloves. They help and hurt all at the same time. Okay. They won't let it move with this piece in there. Once you get that on, pull it out. I'll rotate it just a hair. I gotta pull my puller back off. Oh, by the way, no, the tip of this has like a little point, and it goes right into the little indentation on that, so it doesn't mess it up. I'll find out what thread those are. I'll let y'all know in the not the comments, but the description of the video. That should be pretty good right there. I could drop a nut somewhere. Oh. Forgot a method. Got to grab it out. There we go. That is the nut. But if you drop it, make sure you get it out. About forgot to do that. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to put it on anyway. Yeah, that's right. I about forgot to put my covers back on. Now, we can put the steering wheel back on. Feed that through. Put the nut on here. So you have two options. You can torque it down if you want to. I gotta look up the torque specs, or you can just run it down snug with your impact. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna torque it down with the impact on this. Yeah, just make sure that it's tight. But I will look up the torque specs if anybody is wanting those. You don't have to go crazy with it, just connect. Right. Now I do have one of the torque bits for the airbag right here is the one that went on this side. I think this one it came out to, so let's see it right here. Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. Let me go grab a magnet. Here is the other one. Now, let's put our airbag back in. Make sure we put it in the right way. Wire. Not the wire all bent up. Start this side. Come on. Yeah, let's see if I can get this side. This is going to be the aggravating side right here. Always is. Oh, look at that first try.
Damn, I'm good!
I would say do this side first if I was you, just for the fact that if you drop it down in here, all you have to do is lift it back out. You don't have to take this bolt over here out. So, that might have been a smarter idea for me to do, but I did get lucky and get it on there on the first try. Okay, let's go back in the back and we are going to hook up the battery and battery. Don't forget two of them. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this one up first. Tighten it down. Go crazy on tightening it down. People mess up their batteries that way. So now we're going to push in and up. There you go. Now all we got to do is do the cover. But I'm not going to show you all that just because that's kind of monotonous to do that. It's pretty much putting a clock spring in one of these. Like I said, it's the first generation Prius. You don't see these too much anymore. I think this one's got like 180,000 miles, something like that. Still runs great though. Just had a airbag light on and we determined that it was the clock spring. But here's one thing I want to show y'all. Show y'all the new shirt design. I don't have it on a shirt yet, but I do have the design. It's on my phone actually. So let me pull it up real quick before I close out the video. Where are you? There we go. That's going to be on a shirt. It's going to be a new design. Days without a check engine light. I do got to straighten up the check engine side. I didn't notice that it was crooked until I took a picture of it, but I want to straighten it up. But that is going to be the new design. That will be on the back of the shirt, and then there will be my logo on the front, like where the pocket is. So just want to give y'all a little preview of what that is, and as soon as I get one made, I'll show y'all what they look like. But that is pretty much it on doing that job. If y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comment section. I get to them as soon as possible. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers and patrons and all that stuff. It helps out the channel and helps me grow. But if y'all have anything, just hit me up on anything, not just one pertaining to this type of vehicle, but to any vehicle, and I'll get to it as soon as I can. But I do have the Instagram and Patreon and all that stuff. And y'all remember, torque this tight. Y'all have a great day.